Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt. And yeah, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported and he was coming after immigrants, yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise. I was talking to my husband last night, and I have to admit that it seems a bit foolish now when you think about it like that we voted for something that is now putting us directly out of business.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on the notification bell because we've got another political reality check coming your way. Today's episode is about Nebraska. Yes, the land of corn, cows, and conservative loyalty. Now, facing a full-blown financial meltdown. Yep, you heard that right. Nebraska, the red stronghold, is going broke. The entire state is teetering on edge of bankruptcy. And the reason is, 2 words, my friend. Trump's economy. Now, let's get into it. So, Nebraska decided to go all in on Trump. Twice, they cheered for the tariffs, waved the MAGA hats, and told the rest of America to trust the plan. Well, the plan seems to have worked. Just not for them, because now Nebraska's economy is looking like the last farm auction where nobody shows up to bid. It's the ultimate FAFO moment. Find out season has officially arrived in the Cornhusker State.
How do you feel about Trump's speech last night? I think Daddy did a great job.
Why are you calling him Dad?
Because when Daddy talks, I listen. When Daddy taxes, I pay. And when Daddy starts a trade war that ruins my businesses, I say, thank you, Dad.
Let me stop you. I'm curious what your takeaway was from the speech last night.
Democrats are pedos. Tariffs are brilliant. You don't understand them. Wokeness is dead. Putin is our papa. And patriotism is going to be a little painful for a while.
And you're just going to swallow that?
Yes, we love swallowing what Daddy gives us. Plus, if I'm suffering, it means that liberals are suffering, and that's the only thing I really ever cared about.
Including the destruction
of America. Yes, my God, you liberal beta pussies.
Hey, Nebraska, do you need a tissue for your issues? Hey, Nebraska, save the drama for your mama. What happened, Nebraska? Did voting for Trump ruin your economy? Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. It's kind of like we told you so, right? Oh, I love this. I like to stick it in your face and rub it in. It's kind of like, when Trump was telling everybody he was going to come after the undocumented people in this country that were working hard and deport them, that they would kind of move to a state they felt safe in. And apparently, Nebraska wasn't one of them. They packed up their stuff and they headed on out to a state that would welcome them with open arms. So now you're going bankrupt. And as somebody that lives in a blue state, I could give a shit less. Boo-hoo. Oh, and I can't wait for the hated comments. I can't wait for it. You voted for this! You voted for this! And now you're getting it. So why are you mad at us? We didn't vote for this. Nope. We voted completely against this. You voted for this. I better not get one BS comment. Not one. Not one. Oh, how mean you are. The stink. You're so mean. Shut up. Shut up. I'm not mean. I'm just giving you what you wanted. You wanted this. You voted for it. You made your bed. Now lay in it. Have a day.
Whoa, it looks like Nebraska is broke. Yes, Nebraska is facing a $500 million deficit shortage. Yes, they're in trouble. And this from a state that just a few years ago had a huge budget surplus, largely because of pandemic money. But what did they do with it? How smart were they? Well, they did the stupid, typical Republican thing. Oh, we got all this money, let's cut taxes. Let's cut taxes, let's cut taxes. So what's happened? Yes, their revenues have fallen, and now they can't sell goods because other countries don't want to buy their farming goods. So they're now stuck. And now they have to go beg to the federal government, please bail us out, please bail us out. Yes, Nebraska, you are under the typical Republican rule, where you just think cutting taxes is going to be the answer. Well, cutting taxes and being rude to other countries doesn't seem to pay, does it? And now you're stuck. And now you have a $500 million shortage. And you have no one to blame but yourselves. Nice job, Nebraska.
So Nebraska, which is a red state, is still scheduled to go broke in 6 months, and the residents are very unhappy about it. And they had this to say.
So are we going to sit at home on the couch and let these billionaires control the country? Hell no. We are the poor people. We're a red state.
Now, that was a 5-minute video that I cut down to that about 10-second clip that I just showed you, because what that man said in that clip was so significant. It really, really stuck out to me. The part where he said, we're a red state, really, really stuck out to me, and further reinforces when we always say that many people who voted for this administration believed that the policies of this administration would not affect they asses. Y'all fucked around, and now it's time for y'all to find out. Y'all voted for hate, even with the possibility that you might go hungry, even with the possibility that it might affect your health. Y'all voted for hate. Congratulations on getting what you voted for.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Our state has, in fact, gone bankrupt. Due to his tariffs and the loss of all of our migrant farm workers, our state has lost over $500 million. It's so bad that Governor Pillen had to call and ask him for a bailout, and we don't know if he's going to give it to us. My husband and I did used to own a farm here in Nebraska, and thanks to the loss of all the workers, we went bankrupt, and bankruptcies in our state overall are at a record high right now. It's still just so weird to me because we all voted red. Nebraska, every county, every district overwhelmingly voted red, and that seems to have been the reason that we're all out of business now. And that just doesn't make that much sense to me. If you vote for a party, shouldn't they protect you? Shouldn't they pass policies that will help you stay out of bankruptcy? And it's not just the farms, but the whole state is going under because we voted red. When you're a farming family like mine, I can see now that it is important to think before you vote.
To start hearing about red states going broke? Yes, states going broke. So this one today, this red state that voted for Donald Trump is Nebraska. Look at this budget deficit. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know how they're thinking about fixing this budget deficit? Increasing taxes in the state, sales tax, or some kind of other tax. Don't forget, the red state voted for Donald Trump. They're also paying in federal taxes and getting nothing for it. They're also paying tariffs, just like you and me, and getting nothing for it. So Nebraska and other red states, just so you know, the top 10 states struggling financially right now, you can Google this, 9 out of 10 of them are red states. Stay tuned for more red states about to go broke.
Nebraskans are pissed. Bigly. Askins, the Askins are pissed. Nebraskans. No one wants to hear Farmer John with his butt crack showing, married to a Karen, complaining about losing your little farm when you voted for me. They don't feel sorry for you. And I don't need your votes anymore, so I don't care. Bigly. Nebraskans, what did you think was gonna happen? If all your workers were Mexicans and we got rid of all the Mexicans, who's gonna be your workers? Guess what? You can take a page from the book of the Native Americans, followed by the African Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans. Listen, what we're gonna do is crash the economy so all the rich people can buy up everything for super dirt cheap, including your land, Nebraska farmer dude. I don't know. And once we buy it for dirt cheap, we will hire you to work on said land. Hello, this is a tale as old as time. We've done it so many times before. And the fact that you thought you were exempt is absolutely hilarious. Bigly, it's funny because you guys are really effing around and finding out. Decided to put a little pause on the tariff situation. Canada had a problem and we came in and helped them solve it. They had a problem that there were tariffs that they could not pay. And I said, I will be your savior. I will take the tariffs away. You're welcome. Thank you. Nebraska, I've actually sold Nebraska to Vladimir Putin. And we know I like to say Putin. That's my friend. In exchange for 2 new mail order brides that should be here by Thursday. One of them's gonna come with me into my forever cryo chamber where I will live in infamy and be the president of the United States for the rest of existence and time. Bigly, we're doing very well with Russia. Russia's really enjoying us and we're really enjoying Russia, and they're bombing the hell out of Ukraine right now. And I don't like the Ukraine guy because that guy is tan and he's kind of sexy. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't like that about him. Vladimir Putin is much more pale. He makes me look shiny and orange. And that's the kind of leadership that I really look up to. Bigly, I do. We're having a good time. Everyone's having a good time this pregnancy, and you guys keep trying to come and interfere with your world news and your disasters. We like a good disaster. It's good for the millionaires and billionaires because we can buy up everything dirt cheap, including labor, including you. We need a workforce. Too many of you farmers want to own your own land with government subsidies. Not anymore. You got what you voted for. Bigly, you got what you voted for.
Hey, Nebraska, is this you? Come on up to the front of the classroom. I have some information for you.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So I know that when you elected Donald Trump, you decided to put all of your apprehensions aside and elect a person who was clear about his intentions. He was going to get rid of undocumented immigrants, which would cause your primary industry, the agriculture industry, to go down. Then he decided to do away with the farm subsidies, basically welfare, that would just annihilate farmers in Nebraska. But wait, there's more. Those 2 things are just the tip of the iceberg. I was told from a well-placed source that you guys are considering bankruptcy in the not too distant future. They said 6 months or so. So if you combine all of that bad news with these people deciding to vote against you who desperately need health care, they are and will and have voted for a framework of a budget that would basically annihilate Medicaid in your state. Let me give you a secret. I don't know if you know this, but over 341,000 residents in Nebraska are on Medicaid. That represents $3.7 billion of revenue, of money, of spending that goes to the state of Nebraska for healthcare. And this is not just healthcare, just ad nauseum. This is healthcare that goes to take care of patients and then also goes to fund hospitals in a rural state, hospitals that are desperately needed. Now, this is the kicker. Of that $3 billion or so that goes into the state, the federal government picks up 69%. In essence, only 30% of that money you have to contribute. But the problem is, since you're going bankrupt and all, you're not going to be able to contribute that. You have come into the zone of FAFO. Unfortunately, this map is going to be your downfall.
Racism is expensive, and corporations and billionaires don't care about you. This is probably breaking news to many who support and applaud mass deportations. Well, the people in Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, is starting to find out how expensive both of those things are, how expensive racism is, and how much corporations and the billionaires don't care about the working class, minorities, poor people, black people, and other non-billionaires. Well, here we go. So I hear Nebraska is on the brink of bankruptcy, although it seems that they have found a little band-aid to put on their self-inflicted gashing wound by choosing and supporting mass deportations, which hurts their farms because it takes away the migrant workers who, instead of waiting for ICE agents to go and round them up and jam-pack them into some of those private prisons like Core Civic, and continue to enrich the billionaires while they lose while the farmers lose their workers, the migrants decided to self-deport to places where they can be and be okay, and not be in a community and communities of people who applaud and support mass deportations. So I guess those migrants were taking people's jobs. Where are those people? Come and take the jobs. They're there. The jobs are available. Why are these states? Why is Nebraska potentially going bankrupt? Why are so much of America's farming country going belly up? Yeah, racism is expensive, and like they say, F around, find out. But I hope this is a lesson to everybody that is in support of and applaud mass deportations and mass incarceration. People who, in a haste to get rid of the people they do not like or to hurt people they don't like, end up hurting themselves. With racism and xenophobia and all of these other things that were part of this past election. By the way, I'm not, although MAGA is super excited about these mass deportations, the corporate Democrats weren't too far away from them either. They were busy chasing MAGA to the right, especially on the issue of immigration. So I'm not gonna act like I didn't see it, or that it didn't happen, or that the Democratic Party wasn't campaigning on potentially doing harm to migrants and immigrants either. And at the end of the day, there was also another choice other than the corporate Democrats or MAGA, and there was the Green Party. Most people probably did not pay attention to it, but if you look at their platform, it actually is in favor of the working class, is in favor of minorities, is in favor of the majority of America, to where you could see their platform is not in service of the billionaires, unlike the two major parties, the duopoly. So all that to say, though, when you make choices and you make choices that hurt people, and at the same time you depend on those people, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. And at this time, let me just ask Nebraska and everybody, because I know, I recognize everybody in America is going to be affected by farming issues. However, everybody that supports all of this bigotry, all of the mass deportations, mass incarceration, racism, racist policies, and all of that, and who are being affected now, let me just ask you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Our state has, in fact, gone bankrupt. Due to his tariffs and the loss of all of our migrant farm workers, our state has lost over $500 million. It's so bad that Governor Pillen had to call and ask him for a bailout, and we don't know if he's going to give it to us. My husband and I did used to own a farm here in Nebraska, and thanks to the loss of all the workers, we went bankrupt, and bankruptcies in our state overall are at a record high right now. It's still just so weird to me because we all voted red. Nebraska, every county, every district overwhelmingly voted red, and that seems to have been the reason that we're all out of business now. And that just doesn't make that much sense to me. If you vote for a party, shouldn't they protect you? Shouldn't they pass policies that will help you stay out of bankruptcy? And it's not just the farms, but the whole state is going under.
So this morning I ended up on Nebraska Talk, and it was a bunch of people crying, why does anybody care about Nebraska? When we voted for Kamala Harris, when I cast my vote for Harris, that was me saying, I care about you and I want you to survive and thrive. Okay, you knew better than anybody else that your state thrives and survives off of migrants' backs. Okay, and instead of them waiting for ICE to come, they decided to peace out before they could come and get them. I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. This is what you voted for. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, this is exactly what you voted for. And now you're feeling it. What do you want us to do? You want a government handout? That's socialism. You voted against that. No. Sadly, the reality is that you'll probably have to sell a lot of your farms for pennies on the dollar to large corporations and manufacturers. But don't worry, they'll probably let you work there for minimum wage.
Okay, let's break it down. After Trump's trade wars with China, the very farmers who powered Nebraska's economy started losing their biggest markets. So they are being sat in silos, pork exports plummeted, and small-town businesses folded faster than a lawn chair at a county fair. But instead of rethinking things, the politicians in Lincoln kept pretending it was all fake news. Now the tax base has dried up, rural towns are now ghosting out, and Nebraska State Treasury is bleeding red ink. Meanwhile, Trump's tariffs and economic isolationism have left farmers begging for bailouts that never came, or worse, come in form of temporary relief checks that vanish faster than a campaign promise after an election. Now, the irony is, these same people once mocked blue states for being poorly managed. Now, Nebraska's asking Washington for help. You can't make this stuff up. Now, you remember when Trump said he was going to make America rich again? Well, Nebraska must have misheard him and thought he said, make you broke again. And the folks who used to call government aid socialism, suddenly they are all about the socialism life. Please, Uncle Sam, can we get a bailout? You can practically hear the hypocrisy echoing through the cornfields. Even the state's tourism and manufacturing sector are tanking. No one's visiting, no one's buying, and no one's hiring. It's like the entire state pressed the self-disrupt button and then blame the neighbor for the explosion. Now, it's wild because Nebraska isn't just broke financially, it's broke politically. The leaders still can admit they messed up. Instead of facing fact, they are blaming Biden's inflation or Democrat sabotage, sorry. But last time I checked, Nebraska's collapse didn't start in 2024. It started back when America first became Nebraska last. What's worse, young people are living in drones or in droves. Why? Because there are no jobs, no opportunities, and no vision for the future. Just more slogans and empty promises. So here we are, Nebraska, once proud and prosperous, now begging for financial life support. And all because the voters chose to believe a man who sold them a dream made of dust. I hate to say this, but FAFO does write itself or its own headline, okay? Nebraska learned the hard way that blind loyalty doesn't pay bills. It just sends them for collections. Now, what do you think? What do you think about this, folks? Is this the wake-up call red states need to finally realize Trump's business genius was a political scam? Or do you think they'll keep doubling down until the last farm and factory are gone? Now, drop your thoughts below. I'm curious to hear how you think Nebraska can bounce back from the mess. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe because the truth deserves a little amplification, especially when the confused get quiet. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay smart, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, credit belongs to original creators.